Hi, students, and welcome. Hola y bienvenidos to ESL 2B for DPR construction. My name is Anna, and I'll be your teacher for this class. Okay, ready to get started? So before we jump in with our first lesson, I wanted to talk a little bit about cómo funciona, right? How is our class going to work? So the first thing that we'll see together before any of our classes is our video de preparación semanal, right? So returning students, you know the drill, but for anybody who's new, what is this? So at Freestyle, we use what's called a flipped classroom model. That means that even before our first class, you will see what we're going to be talking about and prepare a little bit by yourself. And that means, for us, watching your weekly prep video. In this video, one of our instructors, it could be me or another instructor here at Freestyle, will explain all of the language that we're going to work on together this week. So all of the new grammar, all of the new vocab, will work with you and explain that before you come to class. This is a really essential part of our model because it means that by the time you come to class, you are already prepared to jump in and speak with your peers, engage with our interactive activities, and really use the language, right? So watching this video is really, really important. Please take the time to do it before class. That way, when you get here, you'll be ready to go and we can make the most of our time together. Next thing we'll have is dos clases virtuales cara a cara, right? Dos veces a la semana. So we'll have two virtual classes. These will be face-to-face. And in class, we have a whole bunch of activities that we're going to do with you. We will have conversation activities, of course. We'll play some games. We'll watch some videos, listen to music, maybe watch a little bit of TV or clips from movies. And we will also take advantage of everything that our Zoom classroom has to offer. So we'll have whiteboard activities, right? We'll have some interactive games. We will do some polls. We'll talk with small groups of classmates in the breakout rooms. So we have lots going on 2 days a week, and that's where we're going to cover all of our new content and all of our learning goals. We're going to be working toward them in those first 2 days. Then our third class of the week is our práctica virtual del lenguaje de construcción. So our third day is also face-to-face, and this is where we take all of that language from earlier in the week, and we're going to apply it to the workplace, right? So this is about taking all of that language and making it relevant to you. We're also going to have a little bit of conversation, some games, something cultural. So we're going to do both workplace language and something a little bit fun, right? Something a little bit spontaneous. So that's our third day. Then we also have Teachable. Teachable is nuestra plataforma virtual de currículo, right? So this is our online learning platform. This is where you can find all of our contents from class. So anything that we look at in class together, you can access it here on Teachable. You have access 24/7, right? Every day, any hour. So this is a really great way for you to learn and review what we looked at in class on your own time. We know that language learning is all about repetition and getting in as many practice hours as we can. That's why we made Teachable available to you all the time. Last thing is nuestro foro de discusión en Padlet. Okay, so this is our class discussion board. Think of it like our class Facebook page. This is where we're going to keep the conversation going outside of class. This is where we can share just about anything with one another in English, right? We can share videos, songs that we like, experiences, you can talk about your day. And this is just to get that practice in, to make some connections with our classmates, and to keep the conversation going. So those are the 5 elements of our class that we're going to see together. Okay, and now we're ready to jump into a little bit of English. So in this video, we'll talk about past experiences and actions that started in the past and continue in the present. And we will describe what we have been doing lately. Ready? Okay, we'll start with some examples. And for each example, pay attention to the text that's highlighted. Okay, all of the words in blue or in orange. Pay attention and notice what kind of verbs are we using and how do we change them. Okay, ready? First example. I have lived in New York my whole life. I have visited New York City many times. I've seen Broadway shows, had picnics in Central Park, and tried many new restaurants. Have you ever been to New York? No, I've never been to New York. However, I've been to Chicago. I've tried their famous deep dish pizza and seen the river dyed green for St. Patrick's Day. Has anyone ever seen that? Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Okay, so what's going on here? What verb tense, ¿qué tiempo verbal, are we using? And how do we form it? Okay, maybe some of you were thinking this. Yes, we are using the present perfect, and this is formed. I have lived. So subject, then have or has, right? Have, except for he, she, and it, then we say has, plus our verb in the past participle. The past participle is our ed form, right? So from the verb to live, we get lived. Excellent. And when do we use this tense? So there are two times that we use it. One is to talk about things we have experienced at some point in the past. En algún momento del pasado no especificado. So we don't have to know when it was, to some point in the past, right? At any point in our lives. So the first one is to talk about those past experiences. We also use this tense to talk about things that started in the past and continue in the present. Right? So for example, I have studied English for 3 years, right? I started studying in the past and it continues in the present. I still study. So we've got these two ways. Okay, time to try it out. So now it's your turn. Which is which? I'll give you 2 sentences, or actually maybe 3 sentences. Each one, you have to decide which category does it belong to. Is it an experience in the past, or is it something that started in the past and continues in the present? Okay, our first example. I have lived in New York my whole life. Okay, good. This is category B. Started in the past, continues in the present, right? Because I have lived here and I still do. They still live there. Good, next sentence. I have visited New York City many times. Experience in the past or started in the past, continues in the present. Excellent. This is an experience at some point in the past, right? Each of those times that I visited New York City in the past is a past experience. And our last sentence, have you ever been to New York? Okay, good. This one is, again, past experience, right? I'm asking, have you ever, at any point in your life, have you gone to New York? So that's a past experience. Good. Okay, now we're going to see something different. We'll see some more examples. And again, pay attention to the verbs. Okay, what's going on here? How are they different from the last ones? This line is so long. I've been waiting for 20 minutes to buy tickets for this movie. Still, I think it's worth it. I've been wanting to see it for weeks. Hey, what have you been doing today? Nothing interesting. I've been running errands all morning. Okay, so what did we see? So we're using a different verb tense here, right? Which one is it? And how do we form it? So this is the present perfect continuous, right? Remember, our continuous tenses are the ones that use ing, the ones talking about an ongoing action. And how do we form this one? I have been waiting. There's an example. So we take the subject, I, then have or has, just like before. But now, instead of our ed, we say been plus the verb with the ing. So our verb wait becomes waiting, right? I have been waiting. Good. And then we notice, oh, look, we also have a short form, right? So I could say I have been waiting, the long form, but we can also contract it and make a short form. I've been waiting. She's been waiting. Good. And when do we use this tense? We use this tense to talk about actions that started in the past and have continued until the present. Right? Algo que comenzó en el pasado y ha seguido hasta el presente. So I have been waiting. I started waiting in the past. I was waiting, and I'm still waiting in the present. Okay, good. So that's all for today. That's all the new stuff. Now it's time to try it out at work. So we have a couple of questions for you to use these tenses to talk about your work. First question, what have you been doing at work this week? Have you done these jobs before? You can use these two structures, I've been plus ing, and I've plus past participle, that should be the ed, to tell us about it. So for example, I have been hanging drywall this week. I've done this many times before. Okay, so you can answer these questions for us on our class Padlet page, right? You should have your account set up now. If not, you can check your welcome email for the link and you'll find instructions there on how to set it up. And what else can we do to prepare for class? So the first thing, revisa el correo electrónico de bienvenida, right? Review that welcome email. You'll find more information about your class resources, how to find them and how to use them. Nuevos estudiantes, this is just for you. Crea una cuenta y accede a tu curso en Teachable. So if you're a new student, you have to create your account and access your course on Teachable, right? You can see the email again for instructions on how to do that. Sí, vean el correo para las instrucciones para eso. Number 3, let's get to know each other. So on Padlet, you can introduce yourself, preséntate. You'll see some instructions there for what you can tell us. Luego tenemos un video de bienvenida y un screencast. Okay, tenemos algunos videos. We have a couple videos just to show you how to use our class. So you'll find those also on our Padlet. And then you can make your post about at work. So those questions we just asked you, you can answer them there on our Padlet page. Good? Okay. Number 4, we have a WhatsApp group. So if you use WhatsApp, you can join our group. Okay, if you don't have WhatsApp, you can download the app. And on our first day, we'll also talk a little bit about this. Last thing you can do is practice with your vocab flashcards and your class audios on Teachable. So once you set up your account and once you get into your course, you can practice with these flashcards. And the audios, you'll also see them there. Okay, well, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I can't wait to meet everybody in class.